Hello, everyone. Serena here. I'm very excited to present to you a new deck that I bought. I'm going to show it off and gush and coo all over it. I managed to score a gold gilded Universal Dali Tarot, the paintings of Salvador Dali, and man, I've been searching for this deck for a while. It tends to be quite pricey, and I admit I splurged because I just worship Dali, and I really admire his eccentricity and the sort of character with which he pursued his art, and really every sort of facet of his life. He was such a peculiar fellow, but I really just wanted his deck because I'm a fan of art decks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not always a fan of how they read, but I am still a fan of tarot, not just as a reading tool, but as a template for which artists may follow if that's something that they wish to do. It's something that I like to do, and I think it's perfectly valid. It certainly helps the artists learn tarot, or at least it has for me, so I'm happy to go through some of these cards with you guys and show them off. There's the Fool. I love the fact that he chose to do a self-portrait for the Magician, which is near and dear to me because I just did my Magician not that long ago, and I did a self-portrait of myself. It's a very vain activity that I thought was quite appropriate for that card. And really, I adore seeing these in person. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've already seen the cards, pretty much all of them actually, because I bought the companion book that went along with this a long, long time ago. And I just decided to own that for a while, and I was like, maybe I don't need to buy the deck, but I just decided to buy the deck anyway because I scored it for a very good price. And I really look forward to working with it as a deck, and that's not something that I can do really with the book, so I'm happy about this. And the cards are, you know, they seem of a decent stock. They're thinner than most edged decks that come edged, especially with metallic edging, but they still look quite gorgeous and are in very good shape, considering that I'm sure this deck is quite old. It's out of print. And the box that it came in, I bought it secondhand off a nice lady. And the box that it came in looks like it's seen some years. And I love, like I said, I love the character of Dali's art. I love how ridiculous it is sometimes, or just very surreal. I mean, that's sort of the point of Dali's art. He wanted to bend reality, and he did. Sort of the godfather. The godfather of surrealism. I love Dali. I really love how, you know, sort of thought-provoking his work is. And disturbing at times, which is not always a bad thing. Rah. I also think that there's something very slapdash about the artwork. Like, he threw this together real fast. I'm pretty sure he did all of these art pieces for the cards. He signed everyone. And not all of his signatures look the same. They're like different on every card. There it is across the top. I love that. It's so peculiar. I mean, who knows how this deck will read? If it'll read well at all. I'm happy to own it no matter what. It's certainly a treasure. As a deck collector, this is the shit that's really particularly special about owning many decks. And I like art decks not just because how usable they are, but they're a template for art, for tarot interpretation. And I'm going through that process myself right now, and it's not to be taken lightly, I think, because it is challenging. I mean, even if you make quick decisions, you still have to commit to 78 quick decisions. You know what I mean? So even if you're doing like the bare minimum of work that's allowed, it's still labor intensive. I haven't even finished the major arcana yet. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So here we go. These are the wands. I chose to, this is the deck that is in Spanish. The major arcana seems to have the Fool, the English and the Spanish both, but the minors, well, the minor courts anyway, they have just Spanish. And that is A-okay by me. I don't mind. I mean, it's not like I can't learn the phrases. And to be honest, I think that they're pretty easy to remember. Sota, Caballero, Reina, and Rey. My Spanish is terrible. But, I feel like it's appropriate to own them in Spanish because that was Dali's language. He was from Spain. Little nod to the classic iconography there. There's going to be plenty of that in here, I'm sure. I also love that this is most likely mixed media. See, the deck that I'm doing right now, is intended to be kind of gosh, I'm blanking on a word right now. It's supposed to be closely drawn to contemporary modern day life. It was a way for me to like try to bring my two worlds together, like the language of tarot and the sort of relationship that it could have to ordinary life. So even though most of the major arcana is usually depicted as something quite abstract or celestial, like clearly not reality, mine is mostly contemporary with like 1 foot in and 1 foot out of reality. It's a very stylized reality, but the truth is if I were to do like huge big paintings devoted to tarot, I would definitely choose a more surrealist style for that, but I am painting on cards, so my canvas is small, and I decided to keep it simple and to keep it quite earthly so that it was easy enough for me to relate the images of the tarot to a more real-world motif. And it's turning out pretty well. There is something that's very sort of like just outside of reality about them. I don't know. But these cards, these are not. These are like totally fantastical and clearly not depictions of actual things happening. I also like, this is just a small quirk, but something that I quite like about these is that the suits seem to be quite cartoony, but they're all uniform, so you can tell, they pop, you know what I mean? You could tell exactly what suit you're looking at. You don't have to worry about what number it is. They're not numbered at the top, so you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you know that this is the 8 of Cups. And they stick out. That's something that I think was a very smart design choice. Well done, Dolly. Oh, so pretty. This isn't the only art deck I own either. I recently purchased the Golden Tarot of Klimt, which is not a deck that I think reads very well, but it is fucking gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's got gold foil on the cards, not on the edges. I ended up edging that deck myself in black because I thought it looked really nice. It's got black borders, so it just looks crisp. And that seemed to work out pretty well. But the gold elements that are actually on the face of the cards, oh, to die for. So, so nice. I'll have to study these a little closer later. I'm just sort of going through them all very quickly so you guys could check out what they look like. Sort of giving my thoughts along the way. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really read the companion book, even though I've owned it for a while. So getting to use this deck, I think I'm gonna dip into that and, you know, just see what it says, see what some of the interpretations are intended to be, if they are in fact written by the man himself. Rena. That's Dolly in a chair. And then what are these? Just extras. Cool. For the first time in history of art, the universal genius of Salvador Dali has created 78 works, unique in the world, which make up the Dali Universal Tarot. It's just, it's so special to me. I absolutely love Dali. I've been an enormous fan of his artwork ever since I was a kid. And, which is, I mean, like, there aren't too many famous artists that I really, truly revere. So, Dali is way high on the list. Insofar as his body of work and also just the sort of person that he was. I just think he was really cool. I read his autobiography a couple of years ago. It was amusing. I took it out of the library. I should try reading that again. But that was just a hilarious book, and who knows how much of it is embellished or how much of it is just imagined, birthed from the bizarro mind of Salvador Dali. But he was such a cool dude, and yeah, I'm a fan. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Universal Dali gold-edged shiny piece of treasure that I now own. It came in this paperboard box with the book there, and it also came, it slides into this, ooh, gold on the inside too, cool. Very lovely velvet red box. It's a couple years old, you can tell, but oh, it's so welcome here. So welcome. And the lady who sold it to me was kind enough to write me a little note on the back of a tarot card, which happens to be the Magician, one of my favorite cards. Oh yeah. So thanks to her. Her name is Mira. Thank you, Mira. And thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Sweet dreams, guys.